I'd like you guys to take a look at Alexis Clark. Alexis Clark is a dumbass. I'm not going to call her the B word as much as I want to because I want to keep it as cordial and as respectful as possible. But she is a real, how should I say this without saying it bad? She's pathetic, okay? This black woman wrote a book about a black nurse and a German POW that met during World War II and fell in love. And of course, you know, white people are praising it, saying that it's a very compelling and powerful narrative that everybody should get their hands on and everybody should read. Absolute bullshit. You know, when there are swirlers out there that ask me why I criticize them, this is the reason why. Because you goddamn swirlers are so fucking delusional. Now, I know black men have done their dirt, and I know you continue to tell me that black men date outside their race, 2 times the rate as black women. I understand that, and I've acknowledged that numerous times since I began talking about shit like this in 2015. And I also know there are many black men who don't date out, who only want black women, who want black families, black children. But I haven't seen black men writing books on love stories between them and white women. I've seen black men chase after white women, and that's not good either. But when it comes to writing goddamn dramas, romance stories, and the like, you women out there who like this particular type of man always seem to make these love stories, these fantasies that you want for yourselves. You put them in the pages of these books that you create because you're living out your fantasy through the book because you can't get yourself a white man in real life. Okay? And you have these delusions of these men who will ride off into the sunset with you on a white horse and save you from your dilemma, from your woes, and it just won't happen. This is why I cannot respect the black women that date out. I don't respect black men that date out either. I've said it numerous times, but swirlers will come to my channel and tell me that I'm being hateful towards them. I'm not being hateful at all. You give people so much ammunition on how stupid you are. No sane black person writes a romance novel between a black person and a white person. Black people that love themselves, black people that believe in black love, black men and black women, they write love stories for each other. Now, I did a video a while back where I told you that doesn't sell. The white audience is not going to buy black people in love with each other, okay? And there are some black people out there, unfortunately, yes, who will not buy those particular narratives either. They want to see interracial love because they have this slave mentality. Because all it is, when you are endorsing, when you are writing, when you are buying this type of material or listening or partaking in this type of mindset, you are enjoying the slave life. You're enjoying being a slave and you're enjoying having sex with your slave master. It's just that simple. I'm not being hateful here. This is just the reality. Because when I see black women writing, I've seen so many books on how they write on how to attract white men. They have forums, platforms, and websites dedicated to dating white men exclusively. Even though they say, "Oh, it's not just about white men." Oh, okay, sure, okay. Black men do their dirt, and I call them out for their dirt. But black women get called out for their shit too because you're not doing any better. I don't blame black women for the status of the black community. I would never will do that. I understand that both sides need to take accountability because there are some things that black women have done wrong and some things that black men have done wrong as well. But you women take it to the fucking level of stupidity. Black men are risking their lives to be with white women, but you are also risking your lives to be with these types of men. I'm not trying to convince you otherwise, but how can a true black person who loves themselves respect a black woman that is writing a romance novel about a black woman being in love with a Nazi? This is like that movie that Amanda Stenberg was in, that biracial chick was in with that white boy who played the German. I don't know his name, but it was called Where Hands Touch. That was a black woman. I don't know if it was this woman that wrote that shit. It could have been because it sounds like the same thing to me. Black nurse and German POW. Could be a different person. Let me check. Matter of fact, let me check. Okay, so it was based off of that woman's book I just showed you. And this is the director of that movie. This was the director of that movie Where Hands Touch. It was a black woman. Dark-skinned black woman, okay? And she had no problem bringing that to the screen. And guess who she's married to? Guess who? Look at this old app. You know what, man? I tell you. I'm not going to say nothing hateful. I know you people are going to say I'm hateful if I say certain things. No, I won't do that. But this is a joke. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke, man. It really is. Then you see, I mean, I come on here and I tell you calmly and I tell you the absolute truth, right? That I know black people are not perfect. That I know that we have made our mistakes and that we should love each other more. We should unite more, because if we unite more, we'll be more powerful, we'll be more successful, more progressive, and all the good things will come to us, right? But you see what happens when our women, you see what happens when our men get involved and lay in bed with the enemy. You see what happens. She has taken the mindset of them. She has decided to go against her own people. She has decided to glorify the relationship that she believes is the most beautiful relationship on earth, which is a relationship that she has with her husband. And she emulates that through that movie where there is a black woman who is in love with a Nazi, okay? But she glorifies these relationships because she takes part in it. Most people in our community who take part in this interracial, agenda, they are people who are comfortable with this. They're enjoying it. They believe it's the best thing, the best trend, the best thing ever. Okay? This is why I continue to push back against it, because there are channels out there that keep promoting this type of love, which is absolutely abnormal. Okay? It's not normal. I don't care what you say. There's nothing normal about this. This looks like a mismatch. It looks like oil and water. Okay? Oil and vinegar. It doesn't mix. Okay? It just doesn't look right to me. It's my opinion. My respectful opinion. But this is why you see these women writing these books. This is why you see these women doing these movies. There was a black woman that did the movie with that chick from Blackish and Grownish, the young girl. She did the movie with the Asian boy. I forgot the name of that movie, but I don't care because I'm not going to watch it ever. But it flopped, of course. But she was married. She's married to an Asian man, so she emulated her story through that movie. There's a reason why these interracial movies never do well, because as much as they tell us that people are accepting of interracial relationships, they're not. Especially now, when these people are on the verge of extinction, they're not interested in that. The only thing they're interested in is being with these types of women to get their seed out there to continue their lifespan as much as possible. They don't give a shit about people of our community. They don't give a shit about changing laws. If they did, they would have changed it a long time ago. The only thing that has changed has been the calendar. The racism has gotten worse than it's ever been. Okay? The people in our community, men and women alike, that marry these people, are doing nothing but showing that they are still slave-minded and they are still in shackles in their mind. And they are pushing the agenda of our enemies, because you see it every day. This woman's married to this man. She's pushing the agenda. Amanda Stenberg is a product of a biracial relationship. She does nothing but take movie roles where she is the love interest of a white boy. And I'm not knocking her for it. Hey, her father's white, so why wouldn't she choose a white man, right? Her mother did. She's only doing what she saw her mother do. A lot of these women listen to these other women on YouTube and other forms of social media, and they think they can get with these men, because if they get with these men, they'll be in certain social circles that they have dreamed of being in. They can rub elbows with socialites and become a socialite themselves, and that's what they want. They completely throw their black selves away. And when I say throw your black self away, I'm not talking about being an ignorant black person. They just throw away their black identity and become one of them. And that's what they do. They start talking like them. They start thinking like them. They start promoting their agenda instead of promoting their own agenda as a black person about freedom, about civil rights, about just having, equal rights as a black person. They don't care about that when they get with these people, because they always wanted to achieve the goal of being with these people to begin with. When they've achieved that goal, it's all over. So when I see a woman like the woman I told about in the beginning, who writes novels and love stories between black women and Nazis and black men and white men, period, It's disgusting to me because you are doing yourself a disservice as a black woman knowing your history. If you did, you wouldn't be writing that. And like I said, if you really have that mindset, that's what you're going to partake in because that's what you believe in. As I said, this whole video, I've been respectful. I haven't said anything hateful. I'm just talking the truth. It's a reality. They don't want me to talk about this. They want to keep on hiding me from my own people because they don't want my people to hear this. But the good thing is that even if people don't hear this message, if a lot of them don't hear it like they did on my other channel that's gone, they're still hearing this message from other YouTubers out here. The true black woman and the true black man do not partake in this mindset. They do not promote other people as their best choice and mate. They do not do it. I talk about this and I talk against it every single chance I get. But even more, I promote my people together because my people together creates more of my people, period. It's about love. It's never about hate. I love black people and I don't hate white people. I just don't agree with being with them because they do nothing for us. And I'm not allowing myself to fall for the bullshit agenda that others are falling for. It always hurts me and breaks my heart when I see a black woman, a beautiful black woman, with one of these men. And when I see a brother with one of those women. Because they are not upgrading, they are downgrading. I don't care about money, okay? To an extent, yes, you need money to live and survive, but money is not going to make me be with a woman. My heart will. And 9 times out of 10, these women are not in love with these men. They're in love with what these men can do for them, what these men can give them, the status that they can achieve with these men. I'm not gonna lie, this black woman is beautiful. It's a damn shame she's wasting all that melanin on that man. It's terrible. But this is the agenda that keeps on getting pushed, and you think it's a conspiracy? No, it's not a conspiracy theory. This is reality, ladies and gentlemen. I don't see black men writing books on how to attract white women. I see a lot of black women writing books on how to attract white men and making numerous platforms discussing how to be with white men over their own men. They don't even tell their other sisters, they don't even tell the other women in their community to be with black men at all. Not even other countries. They tell them to completely forget about black men, period, and go to men of other nations. Forget about going to men in Africa. Forget about going to men in Brazil who are black men. Forget about the other black men that exist in this world besides American black men if you don't want those types of black men. Completely forget about them and go with these men because these men have power, influence. Can't satisfy you in bed, but you know that's a different story for another day. They'll lie and say they do because they got that money, so they got to make sure they lie to the man and tell him he's satisfying them. But you know damn well, I'm going to leave it at that. I don't want this video to be bad, okay? Like I said before, I've seen black women cheating on these men with black men. I've seen black men cheating on their white wives and white girlfriends with black women. Why do you think that is? Because you know what? We have a connection. Despite hating each other, even if you say you do, you really don't. That's why black men can't keep black women out their mouth. That's why black women can't keep black men out their mouth. Despite being on swirling platforms and manosphere platforms, they still have a connection to each other. It's plain and simple. I'm running out of time, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta get ready to go to work. I'll talk to you later. Let me know what you think about this in the comments section. This agenda is continuously being pushed, and I'm glad that there are people in my community, people that are pushing back.